Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So wow, another bad series for the Baltimore Orioles, who fall to 5-8 on the season. And like I said last game, they usually have one good game and then the other two aren't that good. To a certain extent, game 2 of this series, the Orioles did okay. They ended up kind of getting screwed to a certain extent. I mean, to a certain extent, it was kind of their fault in some instances, and in other instances, they absolutely got screwed, in my opinion. But, however, let's get to game 1. Baltimore Orioles 5, Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Hitters had a great game plan going into facing, what was his name? Zach Gallen. I don't know if it was just the scouting report or they got into the game and they saw Gallen's, I want to say it's a 12-6 curveball, but it could be more of a changeup. And they were just laying off of it. But Gallen is a guy that likes to rely on that pitch and just couldn't get anything going because the Oriole hitters were onto him. Ended up chasing him relatively early. Henderson, 2 hits and a walk. Rutschman, a hit, RBI, and a walk. O'Hearn, 2 hits and an RBI. Ramon Laureano, defensive replacement late because O'Hearn started in right field. Didn't really like the defensive alignment in this one, but you know, you're kind of hamstrung with injuries. Cows are going down. Westberg dealing with general upper body something. Laureano, defensive replacement, does not get in at bat. Jordan Westberg, DH, no hits, but he did walk. Mullins, RBI and a walk. Mountcastle hit 2 RBIs and a walk. Kerstad does get hit. So 1 for 4 with a strikeout is not terrible. Of course, then Arias and Holiday combined 0 for 8. O'Hearn, Henderson with doubles. O'Hearn with a home run. Henderson with 2 steals. So Henderson is getting back into form. To a certain extent, hasn't really come through at the plate much. But for the most part, in the field and running the bases, he's kind of there. Just, the hits are just... They have good exit velocities. So they're just not getting in there for any damage, really. I mean, 2 hits is 2 hits, but that's really it. Of course, he's a lead-up guy, so if there's nobody on, he can't really do anything when your 8 and your 9 guys go over. Disappointing. Zach Eflin with a great performance again in this one. It'll be about 2 weeks before we see him again. Yep, that's right. Another pitcher for the Orioles on the injured list. Wow. I don't know if it is the organization or if it's Major League Baseball, but something needs to be done. I mean, how many pitchers are going on the injured list? It almost sounds like Major League Baseball really does need to go to a 6-man rotation. They really do. Because otherwise, what else can you do? What else can you do? You go to a 6-man rotation, then there's, I guess it's technically 6 days off. It's more like 5.5-ish days off. Yes, you may see some, what do you want to call them, side sessions in the middle of that. Just to be expected, but it seems like a lot of stress on the arms, and they're crumbling under the pressure. What else do you do? Somehow get them to be able to go 6-ish innings with less pitches? How exactly do you do that? Add another defender? Or maybe one thing you could do is when a batter has 2 strikes, don't give them unlimited foul balls. that could help a bit. I don't know that you would get that much out of it, but it would reduce the amount of pitches pitchers throw per at bat, therefore per inning, and therefore per game. Sounds like it would reduce the amount of stress on the arm, and to a certain extent, why the hell should you get an unlimited number of foul balls? Why are you punishing the pitcher for the hitter not putting the ball in play? Especially when you see some of the swings that some of these hitters put on it. Oh, it's a tough pitch, and he just flings the bat at it to foul it off, to stay alive. Okay. Yes, you're rewarding hitters for that, but at the same time, you're punishing pitchers now. Because I think there are more foul balls than there used to be. Because hitters have, either with their swing adjustments, it's created more foul balls, but they have seen the results. You can wear pitchers down and then benefit from that. However, Eflin, even with his, well, they said they noticed a drop in the velocity in the last inning. Does go 6 full innings, only gives up 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, 1 strikeout. And yet he's injured. Okay, that's interesting. Cano in for the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Had to get Cano in here again just because haven't been that many opportunities. Really haven't. Gregory Soto in for the 8th. Does give up a hit. Technically. No runs, no walks, no strikeouts. We'll see an article here by Brendan Mortensen in, I don't know, no, it may 15 minutes until you see that article, but he also kind of agreed that the ball that was a hit for Soto was really close to Jackson Holliday. It wasn't labeled an error. Barely anybody mentioned, actually, they didn't mention that Jackson Holliday was close to the ball at all on the broadcast, which is ironic since they just got done talking about how good Jackson Holliday has been defensively. I mean, in my opinion, when I saw the ball go through the infield, it looked like it went through Jackson Holliday's legs. Not sure how it wasn't called an error, but the scorekeeper was being very generous. That's fine. But again, as Brendan Mortensen says in his article, Jackson Holliday would probably tell you he should have gotten to that one. So at least I'm not the only one that thinks so. So there's that. Felix Bautista in for the 9th. Not a safe situation, but he had to get in there. I mean, he hadn't pitched in a week at this point. Pitching the full 9th inning. He's not all the way back. I mean, I know this is a really good outing for him, but he's not all the way back. I feel like, and was it Ben McDonald talking about this on the broadcast, that sometimes when pitchers come back from Tommy John, the velocity comes back relatively quickly. What doesn't come back really quickly is the command. And I didn't think Bautista had that great a command to begin with. So, not a good thing there, but he's been getting through the innings injury-free, or so we've been told, and he's not blowing leads. That's a step in the right direction from not pitching at all. So, the final line for Bautista, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And he did that in 11 pitches. Okay. 8 were called strike, or 8 were deemed strikes, either because they were hit or because the umpire called them a strike. Let's get to game 2. Baltimore Orioles 3, Arizona Diamondbacks 4. Henderson, 0 1 strikeout. Rutschman, a hit and a walk. Mateo pinch ran late for Rutschman. It is one of the nice things that you can have when you DH a Rutschman like that. He's a relatively good hitter. He's a relatively patient hitter and can work walks. And when you have somebody like Jackson Holliday out there at second base, where Mateo usually would be, or at shortstop if Gunnar Henderson is on the injured list, you now have Mateo on the bench. There you go. Put him in a pinch run. Came out very well. It started to work out very nicely, except Ryan Mountcastle decided to poop the bed. But that is just an opinion, I guess. Try really hard. Sometimes you just don't do it. I say I'm a little meaner, I guess. O'Hearn with a hit. Mountcastle pinch hitting late. 0 Yeah, that was a good call, wasn't it? Westberg 0 2 strikeouts. Must really be dealing with some kind of upper body something. You don't see Westberg go 0 like that and multiple strikeouts. Mullins 2 hits and 2 RBIs. O'Neill 0 did walk once. Kerstad 0 Gary Sanchez 0 though he did get hit by a pitch. Jackson Holliday 0 he doesn't get credited with an RBI. Why does he not get credited with an RBI? It ended up being an inning-ending double play. But he still hit a sacrifice fly or a sacrifice line out to the left fielder. Mullins tagged up and scored. I don't know why that's not considered an RBI. Even though if it's something in the rulebook, a double play of any kind means you don't get an RBI. Even though it's the runner's fault or the umpire's fault, depending on how you look at it, why did it end up being a double play? It's somewhat weird. That is weird. Mullins with a double. Only extra base hit. Mateo 2 stolen bases. Henderson throwing error. Yeah. What do you know? Charlie Morton, $15 million man, is 0 for 3. Yay. Pitching 5-4. Actually, before I get to the pitching side of that, let's get to this thing here. I want to talk about the woes of the offense. So here in the top of the 7th inning, you see Mullins double, then O'Neill walk. So you got a man on first and third. First and second. Yeah, Kerstad coming up. Supposed to be a good hitter, and he lines out the shortstop. Luckily, Mullins got back to the bag. Again, Gary Sanchez hit by a pitch, so bases loaded here. Only one out. Jackson Holliday. And this is, I don't understand why he didn't get an RBI, but, it has to be something to do with the double play, or maybe the throwing error by Goria. He wasn't going to get Mullins, whether he made a good throw or not. So I'm not sure exactly why he doesn't get an RBI there, but that's just terrible scoring and rules, but because he shouldn't be awarded an RBI there. Could hurt him at contract time, but whatever. Jackson Holliday does his job as a hitter. You would prefer him to get a base hit, but it was a nice play by Gurriel in left field. Was very close to being a base hit, but it was kind of in line with where Gurriel was playing, so got great positioning of your hit. That's possible. Sliding play got by Gurriel. Mullins at third, O'Neill at first. O'Neill at second, Gary Sanchez at first. Mullins on the contact tags up the third. He's got the speed to get there. Whether the ball falls in or not, he has the speed. O'Neill is at least halfway off of second base by the time the ball gets to Gurriel. Now, when I watched this, I said, oh, Gurriel caught that. And I guess maybe I have a little bit more practice at this than, let's say, some of these baseball players, because if they stick to just baseball, they don't watch football. And if you think about in football, when you have a runner or a receiver and they're close to, let's say, a sideline or a boundary of any kind, the back of the end zone, when you're doing some of these replays and they're showing you some of these replays, you're looking at feet, green grass, and white line. If you can see green between the player's foot and the white line, it's in bounds, right? Or if you can't see the green grass, then it looks like he's stepping on the line. Well, you can kind of liken this to a catch. You have a brownish glove, green grass, white ball. If I don't see any green between glove and ball, it went into the glove. Right? That's what it looked like to me. O'Neill did not see it that way. So he keeps running. Of course, he's also looking at the third base umpire who has, that it would be his call. I guess it could be a second base umpire's call, but neither one of them make a call of any kind. And the really shitty part of this is if they call out right there, calls out, O'Neill goes back, Gurriel comes up firing it, and if there wasn't a screen there, it would have been in the stands. He would have had time to go back. Probably had time to go back to third at that point, too. But none of that happened. I mean, O'Neill rounds third, and when he sees the ball, finally get retrieved by the catcher, he's standing on third. But, so, review the play, and after all that bullshit, they deem O'Neill out because he never tagged up, and yes, Arizona did appeal to second base. I know it's a tough play, but if you're standing there between second and third base, I don't know how you didn't see that. I don't know how you didn't. It's odd that you didn't think that the guy caught it. At the same time, what the hell are you supposed to do? If you think you didn't caught it, you got to advance. Because if you didn't catch it, then Holiday's got to go to first. Sanchez has to go to second. O'Neill has to go to third, or otherwise there's a force play at the base. Well, if he catches it, then everybody's got to go back and Holiday's out. Umpire didn't make a call at all, which I don't really understand. I don't see how you can punish the base runners when umpires don't make a call. It's like, what the hell do I do? What do I do? I mean, you're caught in no man's land because you can barely. I mean, yes, it wasn't like Gurriel was way up in the air with his glove hand and you could clearly see it. It was sliding on the ground. It's hard to discern for anybody. How can you punish a runner because he has no idea what an outfielder did? Can you? You got to make a call. Call him out or call him safe. Or call it a in play still, I guess. But you did nothing. Cool. So screwed again. Now here comes Oriole hitters screwing themselves. Gunnar Henderson flying out. This is the top of the 8th. Henderson flying out, so we got one out. Rutschman singled, not walk. Sorry. I said he walked before. So there you go. Jorge Mateo pinch running. And Ryan Mountcastle pinch hitting for O'Hearn. Well, lefty-righty matchup. Well, it worked out like shit for you this time. Whatever. Go ahead, keep randomly pinch hitting for people. You're going to have to stop doing that. Okay? Look, it's not like it's somebody that can't hit a baseball. I mean, you're pinch hitting Ryan Mountcastle for Ryan O'Hearn in a key moment like this, which you ended up having a man on third. Yeah, because Mateo goes in there, pinch runs, and then steals 2 damn bases. And then Ryan Mountcastle, fresh into this game, can't even get the ball past the pitcher. Not even past the pitcher. That's the problem. And yes, I do agree with what Brandon Hyde said after the game. He said, put the whole league on notice. Ball on the ground, Mateo's going. Because Mateo's that fast. And that is the right thing to do. What you need to do as a damn hitter is get the damn ball past the pitcher. Or you know what, maybe what you need to do as a manager, leave damn O'Hearn in there. Why? Why? Because the stupid analytic numbers say pinch hit in this situation? Well, you look like a bunch of fucking idiots right now, don't you? Because you looked at your dumbass nerd numbers instead of playing baseball. Morons. Get out of your own damn way. Oh, wait. We get to the pitching. I'm not even done here. Charlie Morton, again, I guess looking at some numbers, paying his guy $15 million. And yes, sir, okay, it's early. We can't be pushing the panic button yet. Fine. You got to turn something around. 5 innings for Charlie Morton. 4 hits, 4 runs given up. 5 walks. Can't have that. 4 strikeouts. What? I don't know. I feel like I was aware that Charlie Morton existed. I've seen him a few times. He's not somebody that I followed a lot throughout his career, but he's a very weird pitcher. He's having a very weird year where he seems completely inaccurate at times, and at other times he looks like a strikeout. He looks like Nolan Ryan out there, the strikeout king. What is going on with this dude? Got to turn something around. Keegan Aiken in relief of Charlie Morton, going 1 1/3 of an inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Brian Baker and his allegedly funky changeup delivery. It was more him out there working on his stuff. And instead of grabbing the changeup like he normally grabs it, his finger slipped a little bit in one direction, and then he threw it, and they're like, oh, we like that. So it's a little bit of a less traditional changeup. It's working for him. This is the 7th inning now. He gets the final 2 outs of the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. So Anthony Dominguez on for the 8th. Pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk 2. He's having trouble with that this year. Luckily, no runs. 1 strikeout as well. All right. 3rd game. Wow. Baltimore Orioles 0. Arizona Diamondbacks 9. Henderson 1 hit. Rutschman 1 hit and a walk. O'Hearn 0 walked once. O'Neill 1 hit. Mullins 0 Mountcastle 0 Kerstad 0 Urias 1 hit. Holiday 0 Could get nothing going this day. Whatever. Dean Kramer, again feeling the benefit or the non-benefit of run support. Any contribution by the offense. Not that the game started out too well for him, but you know, offense could help him out a little bit. Mindsets change. Excuse me. In-game game plans change a little bit. Otherwise, he out there thinking he got to do everything himself, putting too much pressure on himself, and not coming through it at all. Dean Kramer, 4 2/3 of an inning, gives up 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Bad performances all around, except for one player. CNL Perez in to finish the 5th and pitch the full 6, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Yeah, CNL Perez has not had a good year. Might have to go back in the tapes, but didn't I say dump CNL, keep cool? I feel like you had a choice there. Keep Coulomb. But they chose to keep Perez. I mean, to a certain extent, you kind of understand one guy's contract is up and another isn't. Well, yeah. Well, maybe trade CNL Perez somehow. Get something for him. Another starting pitcher, because I'm sure you guys love doing that. Maybe if you could keep some of your starting pitchers healthy, you would need so many starting pitchers on your roster. Matt Bowman, this is a guy that did well. Pitching 1 full inning, the full 7th inning, does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. And this is a guy that wasn't making your team out of spring training. But CNL Perez was. I don't know what CNL is. He just can't get it right this year. To start this year anyway. Yes, okay, 13 games in, it's fine. Don't know. Colin Selby, brought up because of Eflin's injury. Pitches the full 8th inning, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. However, article here written by Rock Kabatko talking about Suarez being moved to the 60-day IL. Excuse me. Wonderful. And also the acquisition of a Grant Wolfram lefty from the Milwaukee Brewers. Orioles sent Daz Cameron, who I didn't realize was that old. I knew the Orioles had gotten him. I totally forgot that I knew he was Mike Cameron's son, who did some time with the Cincinnati Reds. He was involved in the Ken Griffey Jr. trades, and he played for the Mariners for a while, and he also played for the Brewers for a bit, too. I didn't realize Daz Cameron was drafted 10 years ago. Hasn't amounted to too much. So, we'll see what Wolfram does. You needed pitching depth, right? We'll see. I mean, a lefty. See if we can get anything out of him. Hopefully we can get something out of him. We kind of running out of pitchers to throw out there. I mean, Chase McDermott injured, Trevor Rogers injured, Grayson Rodriguez injured, Kyle Bradish injured, Tyler Wells injured, Suarez injured, Kittredge injured, Eflin injured. What am I up to 9 now? You could field an ace rotation, or maybe I'm sure a lot of teams can say that. And if you think about it, not all the injuries, but a lot of the injuries, starters. Or guys that throw many innings at a time. That's who's getting injured. Too many pitches per inning. Not enough rest time in between. That's, what the hell else could it be? I mean, back in the day, in Jim Palmer day, they were throwing 102 every 5th day. Or 110 every 5th day. Throwing the whole game. What's going on now? Yeah. I mean, I get that There has been a call to increase velocity, grip the ball a little tighter for more spin, all putting stress on the arm. Somehow you got to get them to pitch less in an inning and less in a game. Or you give them more rest time. Got to figure it out. Going to have to figure it out sooner rather than later, or you're just going to run out of starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. Maybe that's just the way it needs to go. Maybe that's something to do. Instead of having 5 starters and going every 5th day and trying to go 6 innings every 5th day, go 3 innings every 3rd day. Would that be better? Only have 3 starters. And those 2 extra spots, bullpen pitchers. Maybe somebody else that can go 2 innings. Maybe that might be what you need. Guys that can give you 2 innings. 2-3 innings every 2 to 3 days. Yeah, I mean, lots of pitchers are, they're fine, but lots of them are getting injured too. So this article here written by Brendan Mortensen talking about the Eflin injury. They are very optimistic that it's only going to be 10 days-ish and maybe a few rehab starts. It's a grade 1, I want to say lat strain, but it might be something else. It's a grade 1 something of some kind, which isn't that bad. Eflin is saying there's really no pain. It just feels tired. It's some good news. Colin Shelby being activated, and also talking about Grayson Rodriguez and his bullpen session having no setbacks up to this point, or at least at the point that Brendan Mortensen wrote this article, which was April 9th, yesterday. Alright, let's wrap this video up, get to the schedule, get the hell out of here. Today's Thursday, off day. Tomorrow, Friday, starts a home stretch, 9-game home stretch. First team in, Toronto Blue Jays, 43-game set. Friday's game scheduled 7:05. Saturday's game 4:05. Sunday's game scheduled for 1:35. And then an off day Monday. Wow, what? The hell kind of scheduling is that? Whatever. So, well, that will do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for... Oh, I got a whole bunch of stuff on the list to do today, this weekend. Family event. I'm going to record the video Sunday night. I'll post it Monday, though. Yeah. So, again, this is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Monday. And I will talk about the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.